To make the assembly stage easier, I recommend you line your ducts up in a row. Left hand thread on this side of the nuts, right on that side. The two pieces, jaws facing inside, and the two threaded rods, you'll find that they're divided. On one of them there's a big sort of like a 6-7 mil gap on the left hand thread, and then the shorter right hand thread. On the bottom rod there's no real gap, just a change in thread. Now the thing to do is drop that in. Hang on, I'll move that out of the way. Drop that in, but try and get that perpendicular, so when you feed this in, you start, and make sure you thread it left hand. Now this can be a pain to get correct, which I didn't. Oh shit, here we go. Oh, got it started, good. Once you've got it started, you keep screwing it until it's flat with the top. There. And you put it down. Sit. Do the same thing on the other side. Drop it in. Start threading. Now remember, you're threading this right way. And you keep threading it until that bit just is flush, well, not pokes, but is flush with the top. Oh, come on. Top of it. Same thing in both sides. Then you drop these other doobies in. Hopefully you've got it right. And, oops, put in the right hole. And then you start, hopefully, threading. If they're lined up, that's caught. And if you line this up, that's caught. And they're both caught, so you can then now start threading the whole kit and caboodle. And until basically the jaws are together. Now the reason why you get the jaws together is so you can then tighten it while you're attaching the handle and drilling it. And there you have it. That's now ready for the handles to be attached. Look at that, beautiful. And he's even smiling. Alright, I'm going to go and do the other one, which is this, and then I'll go and get the 6-incher or the whatever it is. That's a 203.2 one. Alright, I'm going to go and get the do this and get the other one. No more video for that. Well, both the 177.8 mil, which are these, and the 203.2 mil are done. That, I don't know whether I've mentioned it, I use black wood filler on this. This one being darker timber, I used white. And they're ready to have handles put on them. The last part of the exercise now is to put the handles on. What I've done is I've put some masking tape on the ends there, because these handles have to be knocked down 1 inch. So I'll put the masking tape on. What I've got is a bit of rubber that I put in a vise that I can then jam this down in. But the reason for that is so I can get a good grip on the thread, hopefully without breaking it. Now, I've tightened it up. I've got to mix up some epoxy, and once I've mixed it up, I'll be back. Okay, I've mixed up some 5-minute epoxy, and hope you can see that. I'm going to just spread it around the top, only because this thing goes quite a way down, and it's no use filling up the bottom of it because that's just total waste. Although, problem with this bloody 5-minute epoxy is that you can only do a limited amount because it'll start drying by the time I get onto the next handle. Oh well, not to worry. What I've got is, it also has a ferrule supplied in the kit. Put some epoxy on the inside. It will be pinned, sorry, so it's the second last step, because it then has to be pinned. So the epoxy doesn't really have to hold on to that ferrule. Now, this has been threaded using the Beal wood threader. So, and as I've got this masking tape around it. Oh God, sorry, my left dodgy hand. I've got this masking tape around it which tells me how far I've got to put the thing in. Oh, I might even actually get the epoxy onto this one. Geez, it's incredible how fast 5 minutes go. It's already starting to set. I didn't want to put it on the thread because all that's going to do is make it creep up. On there. Oh look, I am not a proficient user of epoxy. I avoid it like the plague. I usually use PVA or CA. Sorry, I'm sure this is all out of the viewfinder, but just goes to show why I hate making videos of glue ups. Now this is going to be interesting because this is actually a left hand thread. There. I'm not, yeah, it's actually a left hand thread. So that's it. Now hopefully I'll let the glue dry and then it's a case of pinning it. Sorry, I keep forgetting there's a camera running. Alright, over at the drill press we need to drill a hole through the handle and the shaft, the threaded rod, to get this little pin through. Now the instructions recommend an M35 drill bit, which is neither metric or imperial. It's a bloody wire type of a thing, and that's bullshit to me. So I've gone for a 3mm tungsten bit, and I'm just going to have to depend on basically aralditing the pin in there, and that's it. I've measured this for horizontal, and I've dressed this bit of MDF to lift it up enough to make it horizontal. But before I do that, I need to put in a pinhole where I'm going to put this thing. Let's hope this will work. and that'll minimise drift, and let's go from there. Now it is a cobalt drill bit, so hopefully it won't deflect too much. Well, I hope it won't deflect at all. And once it goes through this ferrule and the what do you call it? Oh, come on, think, boy. The handle, it'll probably have enough grab to not deflect when it hits the threaded rod, I hope. He says, now let's line this up. Damn it, my eyes are gone. I'm going to get my lupe or whatever they call these bloody things. Although I could use the laser, but I'm too bloody lazy. It's easier to get this. Turn it on, and off we go. Go through the wood, and that is simple, but now going through the brass rod. Now, admittedly, this cobalt bit certainly makes it easy. And I'm hoping I've gone all the way through. Off with that. I must admit, I hate metal filings on anywhere near my wood stuff. Get the pin, test for fit, hopefully it'll fit properly. I might even pin that over at the other end, but Araldite will keep it in, and there you have it. Well, here we have it. The first hand screw off the production line. Take off the masking tape. I just use this masking tape to as a measure for how far to screw these down on, because they were put on 25.4 mil from the end or deep. Bit of masking tape there, held on by the epoxy, and here we have it. Hopefully well, look at that. Nearly makes a great clacker, but hey, come on, look at that. The logo there. So this is my 330.2 mil. And if you want to know what that is in imperial, do your bloody translation. Okay, that's it. Now hopefully at the start of this video I explained why I made these rather than buy them, because believe me, the effort that's gone into making them just really doesn't justify it unless you were explicitly looking for a woodworking project. For God's sake, I probably would have spent about 5 or 6 hours, maybe even more, all up on this. Maybe not, but you know, 3 or 4 hours. And when you consider at what maybe a nominal $30 an hour, holy shit, even at $30 an hour, these are less than that, so out of 1 hour's work you'd justify paying for it. If this is the end, uru and keep safe, although I think I will be just tagging on the end of this video the 2 smaller ones. I don't think I'm going to waste time showing you how to araldite these pins in. When it comes to pinning them, I've got my pin hammer. What you do is you place the head of the nail on something solid, like on my anvil, and I've got to figure out a way to balance it, although I might have some metal I can put under there, and then it's just a matter of just gently tapping that to spread the edge over a bit. Not that it should need it, because the araldite will hold it in. And that's it. While gluing in these pins, note to oneself, make sure you have some acetone handy, and probably next time sand rough the pins a bit so they'll give the araldite somewhere to bond to. But yeah, the old acetone will at least remove some of that spilt araldite, and believe me, I spilt a lot. Okay.